Okay. Um. First of all, I just want to say thank you, God. And I'm saying that, knowing that first of all, things are horrible for me. I don't know if my food or my drinks are being poisoned or not. The truth is, they don't need to do that, but I would see them doing it just to add to it. Um, but poison is really not needed to harm my body. They can do all kind of things. I mean, they can perform certain like surgery in ways, um, these things that really just to do it, you know. But I've heard others talking about it, and actually I just tried to have my coffee, and I was like, maybe they're putting something in my coffee. I'm not sure. But first of all, I just want to say thank you, God, because regardless of whatever's gonna happen to me, these people are so sad. Listen, I'm the one going through the horrible pain or the torture. I'm hearing this childlike person interacting with me, and according to what they're saying, they're gonna frame me using a child, saying that they're gonna say that I did something to a child. And this child is like, "You're so payable," and I'm like, man, this child is already being groomed in this world where pedophilia is such a normalized thing, in the sense that they work for governmental entities with a lot of pedophilia issues. They are grooming children to be mean. And what I mean by mean is being in a world where what I just said is just normal. But on top of that, they live life where they are reconstructing human beings in different fashion. Like I said, they create these personas that falsify, right? And for me, it's just like, man, I'm never gonna let you live your fantasy, you trash ass. Not only you work for pedophiles, but this program that is empowering these people to be mean. Like I said, are very pedophilia centric. They are so sad and pathetic. And I gotta say that as much as I can before I can't. And putting it out there. Matter of fact, not only I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna put it in their face in ways that just shows how fucking sad it is. Life has been reconstructed in so many ways. Reality is no longer reality. It's based on what they can make you imagine. And the imaginations are the worst. And I'm hearing childlike trash and people who are contracted to try to make me accepting of this manipulation. Today, when I look at a child, they force me to get sexual stimulation. This is what they do. This is how they break you down. They force you to have this sexual reaction toward children and then try to make you accepting of it. For example, what just happened right now? Because they want me to accept this manipulation. They say some childlike trash who's involved in this program that does these things, and not only to men, not only to women, but actually apply that to children, torturing children. Says abuse. What she's trying to do is to make me accept this manipulation that I'm experiencing today. She's trying to refer to me as a middle school kid doing whatever I did to myself as a child. Trying to exaggerate that. That's what they say, abuse. In order to make me accept this manipulation today as an adult man, I'm forced to experience, because this technology can make you experience these things. And of course, they're sending childlike people, right? Because apparently they think their childlikeness will make you acceptive of these renowned manipulations that they've done to others. And this is the same childlike individual who's telling me how they're gonna frame me. Now you gotta understand, these people are being groomed in disgusting ways. The future of this person, whatever age she is, means that the future, she could be doing that to others, and she's already have this mindset that she can be doing these kind of things, and it's normal. That means that's just the beginning of a long life of perhaps doing these horrible things to others. And the cowardness of it all, that's what makes it even worse. They are trash, and I pray that they live this nasty life, no dignity for the rest of your life. These people are kids. I don't even know if they're gonna hit 30 years old. Growing up doing this thing is just the future is. It's just a matter of time. But they let them continue to live this nasty life. I'll be a prophet to them. These manipulations have been just so disgusting, but my thought process has been so manipulated. Matter of fact, right now, what they're doing, let me just say this. Targeting video, I'm not a perfect person. I know my imperfection, and trust me, it has nothing to do with children. At this point, they want me to be accepting of this personality, and the way they project reality is so funny. Now, you've seen the issue of pedophilia from these entities. There's been a problem with child porn that is so rapid in these DoD entities that there's been the bills created specific to that, right? I keep bringing it up. And National Defense Network Abuse Act is a bill that was introduced in 2019 because in 2018, Child Protective Services ranked the DoD network as a top-tier network for child porn trafficking, meaning that employees at the DoD were downloading so much child porn using the DoD network and utilizing the DoD computers that they ranked high for child porn trafficking. Those entities we're talking about, the DoD, are the same entity in charge of this program. They've been working on this technology for decades, way before even the parents of this child trash involved in this, and they continuously do that today. You gotta understand, this trash today want me to identify with this manipulation. I'm sorry, they try to deflect what I'm saying, but somebody saying her hand, like I said, they try to exaggerate what I did as a child in order for me to accept what they're making me experience today, because I'm talking about how these entities are so pedophilia-centric that National Defense Network Abuse Act is a bill to try to limit the amount of child porn these DoD employees are downloading using the DoD network. And they are using this technology that can make me imagine whatever they want. They play my thought process. For example, one imagination they make me have, and they try to make me accepting of this pedophilia type of torture. This is what I'm calling it now because I've heard others calling it that. Pedophilia type of torture is how they can manipulate your brain to react toward children or think about children. They do these things where they manipulate your brain to get some reactions, stimulations. That's so disgusting. Then you have this perps here, and I'm doing that in a sarcastic way, trying to say they tell themselves they're warriors. They're nothings but perps that easily can do what they do. The only thing it does is it is time consuming. For example, somebody right now is in the hallway. It's very early in the morning, right? It's not that they're doing something hard. They're supposed to deflect, disorient me. Okay? And they apply this technology to make you have some reactions that are disturbing, nasty, and pedophilia-centric. You have this purpose here who do everything possible so that you be acceptive of how your brain is being manipulated. Matter of fact, they're not just manipulating you, they try to condition you into like this locked in. But what it's doing to me, it just makes me be fearful of children, or do not want to even be hearing a voice of a child. I don't want nothing, like, it makes me not hate children, but just to say, like, I just don't want to, like, ugh. It's like it became something that's disgusting to me, right? When before that, oh my gosh, I wanted to be a father. I remember like the wholesomeness of like seeing children laughing and it's like it just like fill your heart and in a positive way. Now they flipped it in some nasty sexual ways that now I'm disturbed by children. It's so disgusting. And they then try to make you accepting of it. Now, it's disgusting, but I understand. I could have lived another life. Listen, I don't want to be a target individual. I don't. This is not something I would choose to be. Never. But there's something just worse than that. I'm telling you, there's one thing. The one thing that's definitely worse than that is to be a perp. Not because they're living a tough life. Life is easy. I mean, they stay in their comfortable clothing the whole day, doing whatever they need to do to watch me break down. Well, as I'm trying to function, as I'm trying to work, they're breaking me down, destroying me, and till my death. When I'm not here, they could be putting poison, whatever they can implant. That's the life. A trashy life of cowardice and no lives. Well, they tell me how they're gonna be fine. Like this is how they live. They come in all shape and form. For me, it's this. I gotta find the honor and dignity as a target individual, because there's the dignity. What kind of life would what self-respect can I have if I did what I did? And to me, it's funny how this perps try to minimize what I'm saying, because what I'm saying apparently is so wise. It's like, oh, he's such a preacher. It's like, I guess I'm the preacher. Listening how much I preach, that I would rather die slow than live my life rewiring people's brain, destroying people's brain, torturing people, doing all these foul things on a daily, hourly basis. Wow, such a preacher. That perhaps death, sufferance is better than that. You see how much I'm such a preacher? Let me be the preacher, saying the most basic thing you can imagine. That perhaps you forget dignity for knowing that I could have lived this easy, simple life of doing horrible things to people. I mean, I'm seeing, sometimes I saw the next door neighbor involved in this. He came out with no pants on. Just boxers. Why? Because that's perhaps the comfortable state that he's in when he does these things to us, to me. I've seen other with their like their like overall like shirts that they that's the comfortable clothing they need to use while they're doing these things to me. Why would they be dressing up all nice and full? They gotta stay in and do these things to me. So they dress accordingly, and that shows just how easy it is to do what they do. If they're trying hard, then they, take a shower, you dress up. But this is really why do you even need to do that? It's for them to kind of like, that's not easy. When I see my coworkers and I'm seeing them like all like sleepy and in their PJs, I'm like, oh, it's been probably a long night of just doing these things to me. Look how hard it is. So for me, I'm like, thank you, because I could have been living that life. This foulness done in this comfortable way. I'm such a preacher. I'm thankful. But instead of doing what you guys do, I'm here preaching. That's why target individual can find some dignity in what is going through. But it's painful. I'm feeling my organs just failing away. And I gotta be strong. But death is not something I'm fearful of. Some of these childlike people, and listen how preaching I am, I guess. I was listening to a song, and there was this like song about, it's a country song, and country songs like to talk about death a lot. And they talk about like the lonely valley, walk to the valley, or something like that, right? And I could hear this child like, oh my gosh, our valley, lonely valley. I'm like, she doesn't even understand what he means there. It's a song about death, right? And when you die, you're going through it by yourself. You're gonna go through that valley alone. Listen, I don't want to be spiritual in that sense, but that's what he's saying. And to hear this kid, like, this kid is involved in a program where this is what they do, these horrible things, and that's going to cause death. But she doesn't even understand the concept of death yet. Involved in a program where death is really what's going to end up happening, even though that's not what they're really pushing for immediately. That's where it's going to end up. I'm like, this person is so out of touch with reality that she doesn't even understand that death is like this thing that everybody goes through. Like, you're going to die, and what this song says is like, when you die, according to his belief, you're going to go through a thing that's by yourself. It's nobody else is going to be there. Your mom is not going to be there. Your dad's not going to be there. Your friends are not going to be there. You're going to go through that by yourself. It's lonely, right? According to his belief. I'm not here to preach anything. I'm not here to bring spirituality. But I'm just trying to bring the concept that these people don't even understand death. Some of them, children, while involved in this program, doing these things to people. So I'm like, yo, it's like, and so you hear them just be like in La La Land, disconnected from reality. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be your prophet. because there's a lot of things that you're kind of blocking out already. Let me be your prophet. You're going to get yours. I don't. When I hear these people, I was like, can you imagine these people, these kids already involved in this program, doing these horrible things? Are they even going to reach 30 years old? 30 is young. But how is this person going to look in when he's at 30 years old? This young age. I'm going to be their prophet. But what I'm trying to come back to is the imaginations and the way they've been rewiring me. It's been disgusting. Now, I want to go back to really what's this about. It's about making you accepting of this persona. This technology can alter your mind and manipulate you and create imaginations. But they want you to accept this imagination. Now, let me just say something. Like I said, I'm not perfect. But my imperfection has nothing to do with kids. They're just manipulating me to experience these things. For example, I remember I was on this adult content website. I'm going to bring I want to be honest. And I guess there was this Colombian cam girl, right? She was like in the 20s, somewhat short, but you obviously can see that's like a 25-year-old, 26, 27, around that age. And because in my mind, they can make me imagine anything. They started making me, and by the way, this is like a popular website for adult content. It's not like a dark web. It's like literally, it's like Xvideo.com. Like it's everybody can go there. It's just one of the most popular website, adult content, that everybody goes. It's not like somewhere I go into like a dark room. And this person is like a webcam person. And it's the kind of webcam that you pay. I didn't pay, it was there. But it was like, it's a typical webcam, and there's like devices that it does things when you. Anyways, they're trying to make me imagine, oh, but this person was underage, and I'm like, oh gosh. And they're creating imagination of that nature because she's short, right? And so they try to make you imagine, you see how short she was. It's like, oh my gosh. With no shame. And you hear this person, now she's underage. I was like, trashy way she bottom feeder. It's sad, pathetic, low life. Because these people actually work for governmental entities that are child porn using the DoD network. And they're not going to Xvideo for that. But they have no shame. It's like, you're a bunch of clown. And by the way, it's not like a web it's like where you literally have to pay and things happen when you pay, right? And you can hear the beep 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 or like the payment, and like something happened because somebody's paying for something to happen. I don't want to go too much in detail. So it means that she's connected to some kind of like official company that ensure that she's of everything, and she looks like she's 25, 20, but in my brain they can play the game they want. And so they're making me imagine that, and then they're like, oh no, she's underage. I'm like, clown ass. Because they want you to identify with this manipulation, but at this point it's becoming projection. It becomes projection because the reality is they work for governmental entities such as the DoD with these issues.
Has come under investigation for links to the proliferation of graphic material called Project Flickr. Some 5,000 individuals have been identified as having subscriptions to child porn sites, including many DoD-affiliated persons. So this ongoing national investigation has now prompted the House to introduce a bipartisan bill that would help the DoD stop the use of its network to, quote, possess, procure, or produce child pornography. Joining us to discuss this, investigative journalist Ben Swan. So Ben, the Pentagon already takes measures to limit worker access to stuff like porn by rolling out what they call the Personal Electronic Device PED policy, where workers have to drop off their phones and lockers before entering their offices. All their online searches are accessible by
certain amount of limitation on access. Those who are working in the Department of Defense, clearly it appears to be thousands of individuals in the Department of Defense, are finding ways around this, specifically by using the Department of Defense IP addresses and also apparently peer-to-peer sharing within the department's network. So this study that was done on this issue, and it is pretty horrifying, Manila, to consider this. It shows that the Department of Defense ranked 19th out of almost 3,000 networks in terms of peer-to-peer sharing of child pornography. That is absolutely incredible. This bill attempts to essentially say, look, we're not doing enough to stop it from coming in, but we're also not doing enough in the Department of Defense to go after those individuals who are being recognized as the ones who are perpetrating this.
So Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is the co-author to this bill. She said this, quote, "The notion that the Department of Defense's network and Pentagon-issued computers may be used to view, create, or circulate such horrifying images is a shameful disgrace and one we must fight head-on." Now, the fact that the Pentagon workers, be they civil or military or otherwise, already submit to a gauntlet of daily scrutiny just going in and out of work, is it fair then to the tens of thousands who are completely innocent to further allow that much more government intrusion into their their digital devices or the things that they're dealing with on their computers?
Well, remember that what's being talked about here is not an intrusion into someone's personal device or even their home. This is about saying Department of Defense computers are being misused to share, to spread, to access child pornography. And we use...
This is the reality. And you hear these perpetrators coming up and try to make me think of this webcam to be like, no, she's underage trash. This is like Xvideo, right? It's not even like I'm... You understand? Now, because they're framing me, they tell me how they're going to frame me. Like I said, one is the fact that they're going to say that I did something to the child here. Others are saying they're going to implant child porn. They're stashing child porn. You understand how trash these low life are? Oh. When they start investigating child porn in 2007, this is a 2019 bill. In 2007, there was like this huge investigation, right, from immigration, and I forgot what the entity, and they were investigating this foreign website for child porn that was ran by a crime ring that is based in Russia, not even Russia, Belarus and Ukraine. They found out this.
Secrets, potentially making this. The Defense Department releasing brand new details into an investigation involving child pornography and dozens of its workers and contractors, some with top-level security clearance. Not only are these very serious accusations, but investigators say some of the people involved were handling the nation's most sensitive secrets, potentially making this a matter of national security. Chief Fox Report correspondent Jonathan Hunt with the news. Appalling story, Jonathan. Do we know more about these people and their security clearances?
Well, we don't know their exact job titles, John, but what we do know is that they did appear to be working, some of them, at high levels across a range of government agencies. Take a look at this, for instance, the National Security Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the very secretive Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
So they cut people from that, and this has been an ongoing issue that they had to create. They had to introduce a bill for that purpose because there's so much child porn being downloaded. Now, you understand these people who tell you they're going to frame you, and they are gaslighting you. They are really trying to pressure you into accepting this bullshit storyline that they can make you imagine it whatever way they want. Trash, coward, low life. I mean, cowardness on the. So I'm like, yo, let me just be your prophet. Because today what's happening is they force me to get sexual stimulations, right? And they use these people, and I'm keep showing these pictures here, but we're talking about people even younger than this. try to gaslight you into accepting this. If you saw who's talking to me, tell me right in hell. I'm like, I'll run to hell. But you're gonna get yours, and I don't even think you're gonna live 30 years old. It sounds so like, oh, good luck on that. I'm in my late 30s. I don't think this person talking to me can reach that age without losing it. They do these manipulations.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind. But he thoughts of that. It's like this disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through my parents. I don't know. I don't care.
You understand? Then you have these bottom feeders, nobodies, who in their mind made themselves believe that there's some warriors and this is why they have to be this retarded. No, they're just opportunists, because what's happening is they get the opportunity to involve themselves in a very, very, very well-founded program led by the government that utilize technology that this man addresses here.
It's being controlled by government-sanctioned experiments. Is Cheryl Welch telling the truth, or are her claims absurd? Just another conspiracy theory that's impossible to prove. Maybe. But not if you listen to Nick Begich. I think there's some good evidence that Cheryl Welch and many of the other people I've spoken with have been victimized by this electromagnetic mind control experiments. The weapons of this century aren't bombs and bullets and ordnance, but electromagnetic energy targeting the human being, which is the greatest revolution in military affairs since gunpowder. Begich is an expert in government mind control. He is convinced the Pentagon has mastered a technology once thought to be science fiction, the ability to broadcast information directly into the human brain. Our government began spending a lot of time looking at how to modify behavior of human beings, going back to the Korean War. In fact, in a publication, Low Intensity Conflict and Modern Technology, they have a chapter on electromagnetic weapon systems, being able to not just debilitate someone, but actually even to stimulate certain activities within the brain. But how? HARP is a high-frequency active research project, which started as a joint effort of the Air Force and Navy. This is a very large array or field of antennas based in Alaska, radio frequency antennas. HARP antennas transmit powerful radio signals into the upper atmosphere to study the effects on wireless communications. But Baggage says HARP can also be used for more sinister ends. HARP has announced several other programs and campaigns, and there's two areas that I got very concerned about. One was weather modification applications. The other was the effect on human beings. If you can modulate a signal that the brain locks onto, recognizes, and begins to mirror or follow the frequency following response, the brain rhythms change, and then it creates a chemical cascade within the brain, and the emotions change. Now the resolution gets finer and finer and finer. And it used to just be about triggering emotions. You can change people's brain chemistry pretty readily, change their emotional state pretty easily. But when you get down to the idea of thoughts, manipulate those, that requires a different kind of sophistication. Can we hear sounds?
So, like I said, they get the opportunity to work with technology from these entities, because these entities are running this program and are using test subjects to develop this technology. And it's been ongoing, he said, since the Korean War or something, after the Korean War or something like that. And this is the same entity we're talking about here, which it sounds familiar to an entity that you just heard not too long ago.
project reportedly ended in 1969. Bernardo's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day. The mind can be altered. In 19...
And so this is what's happening to me as I was showing that they were bringing up something, some kids then forced me to get like, make me think of some stimulation that made me experience like when I cross my legs, or and then combine this, it's just a lot of manipulation in my brain. That's very pedophilia centric. And they send these perps whose job is to make me somehow think that it's now them manipulating me. But it's funny, they use this term, we mapped it. Yes, they manipulate the brain. Like that man said, once you locked in with this other device that can mimic your frequencies, then they can make you experience whatever they want, because they can, as long as they have captured, mapped your brain out, they can make you experience whatever they want you to experience. And so you have perps like that. They come in all shape and form, huh? All shape and form, try to, no, we map this, you will not manipulating me. And the thing is, the scary part is, they do that in front of you sometimes. And you're like, trash. You think at this point I doubt that you're not doing these things to me. But it's okay. You're gonna get yours. So for me, like I said, it's just to be thankful, and now God gave me strength. Because you know, when you put this kind of level of validation in people's face, what can you even say? Or somebody tried to say earlier, oh, you use her hand. You know what they tried to do? Go back to me as a child, try to exaggerate what I did as a child in middle school. So today, when they make me have these stimulations, they can be like, oh no, we mapped it to you as a kid. Can you imagine? You know, so what they're saying is my brain is being manipulated to have what I experienced when I was a child, to try to make me acceptive of this. Manipulation.
What is referred to as malodorants. This is the alteration of the smell sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including implanted dreams.
I will never let this low life live any of that fantasy. They have to dumb themselves down all the way, because they got the gas. They have to gaslight me. I will embarrass them as much as I can, in the right way, not torturing them, just putting things in their face to the point where, like, you see how obvious it is. Now imagine do that in front of me and have this every time play with me. You're gonna try to do your acting, your theatrics, I'll be here. Toma Tag Individual, stay strong.